Welcome to the second session of our leadership development workshop. In the last session, we looked at the meaning of leadership. We also looked at the various leadership styles. Then we also went on to also look at the self-assessment, how you can assess yourself to know your leadership strength and know your areas of weaknesses when it comes to leadership. Now, in this session, we are going to be looking at vision, strategy, and decision making in leadership. Now, these three items, vision, strategy, and decision making, are the cornerstone of every effective leadership. That is because great leaders don't react to situations. They rather anticipate the futures, they set a clear direction, and then they make informed decisions, right? Having a strong vision, developing a strategic thinking, and mastering decision making are the essential components of effective leadership, isn't it? Now, these elements enable leaders to, navigate uncertainties, inspire other people, and then drive a long-term success. Now, this is why in this session we are going to be looking at how to craft a compelling vision, how to develop a strategic mindset, and then how to improve decision making skills in order to lead with confidence as a person. Now, let's start about vision. What is the importance of vision in leadership? Now, vision is the foundation of every leadership. It provides a clear picture of where an organization or a team is headed and serves as a guiding force for decision making. Vision is your ability to see the big picture. Vision is the big picture. What do we want to achieve in the long term, right? And vision is the leader's most powerful tool, because it is what even inspires you to lead in the first place. It is what gives you the moral authority to lead. It is what gives you the grounds to lead, right? If you do not have an inspiring vision, a compelling vision, it's difficult to lead, because how are you going to do it? Who is going to believe you? Who is going to trust you, right? People are going to trust you on the strength of your vision, because they buy into your vision. People are going to follow you. They're going to listen to you because of the clear vision that you have provided, right? So in setting your vision, so a few things that you should put into consideration. Number one, that the vision must be clear and concise. It must not be ambiguous. It must be easy for everyone to understand and remember. And then number two is that the vision must be inspiring. Like I said, what will make people want to trust you, what will make people want to believe in you, is the vision, right? As a result, people will be motivated to work with you on the shared goal when the vision inspires them to do so. And the next is what? Achievable. You don't want to set goals that are unrealistic, right? So your vision must be grounded in reality, but ambitious enough to encourage what? People to want to strive with you, people to want to move with you, people to want to work with you, right? That is critical. The next is how to develop a strong leadership vision. Number one is to reflect on your core values and long-term aspirations. As somebody wants to command some respect in the group where you are, what are your core values? What are the things that people should know you for? People should be able to trust you for. That is very, very critical. And then your long-term aspirations. When you see people without a long-term aspiration, they act very, very temporarily. All their actions, all their decisions are very, very temporary. But when you see somebody come into a group, come into a space, and he has a long-term vision, you see how maturely the person handles issues, you see how maturely the person builds connection, you see how the person is patient with people, because he knows that it's not just about now, but it is about his long-term aspiration. The next is to identify key challenges and opportunities in your field. Wherever field you find yourself, you want to be able to identify the challenges that exist and the opportunities that exist in that field. Your vision is going to be born out of these two things: challenges and opportunities. Challenges and opportunities. Your vision statement, as a matter of fact, is going to highlight the challenge you want to deal with and the opportunities you have to deal with it. Then the third point is for you to engage with your team to align your goals with their vision, right? Now, once you have your vision, the next thing you will have is a goal. Your vision gives birth to your goals. Now, once you have your goals, you now want to communicate your goals so that your goals can also align with the visions of other people, so that other people too who wants to achieve the same goals that you have. And so they will also have the vision to work with you. They want to work with you because what you say you want to achieve aligns with what they also want to achieve. The next is to communicate the vision consistently and reinforce it through your actions. If you are working with a set of people, you need to remind them consistently why you people do the things that you do, why it is important to achieve the things that you want to achieve, why it is important for you to take the actions that you want to take. So all of these things comes together to reinforce, to communicate better what your visions are. Now, let's talk about strategic thinking. Strategic thinking is the ability to see the big picture, right? Anticipate future trends and create a roadmap to success. Again, strategic thinking is the ability to see the big picture. What is the big thing you guys want to achieve? What is the big thing you want to achieve? Anticipate what will happen in the future to that big vision, or how that big picture fits into the future. And then you also want to create a roadmap that you people can use to be able to achieve the big picture. It's not enough to have a big dream. It's not enough to have a big vision. You need to be able to ensure that that big vision you have, there is a clear roadmap for it. And to be able to do all of these that I've just mentioned, there are a few things that I want to recommend that you do. Number one, analyzing the present. Now, understanding current strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats will go a long way to help you. What we call the SWOT analysis. You want to use the SWOT analysis to examine the big picture that you have by looking at your current strengths, your current weaknesses, the current opportunities you have, and the threats that exist, the things that are going to be there to almost render your effort useless. You understand? The next is forecasting the future. As a leader, you must be able to foretell. You must be able to look ahead. You must be able to anticipate. You must be able to, to have an insight into what is going to happen, into what is coming up in the next few days, in the next 1 month, in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. This is critical, right? So this is because identifying potential challenges and trends that may impact your organization or your project or your vision or your goals is one of the things that will keep people working with you and keep things working to your advantage. The next is aligning resources. You need to know how to align the various resources that you have, like the people, the finances, and the technologies that are at your disposal. How do you use these resources? Again, people, finances, and technology. How do you use these things to be able to bring them together on the table where everything will work simultaneously and will work to achieve the greater good for everyone? The next is adjusting strategies. Of course, as you progress, as you plan, as you make effort, there will always be a need for you to begin to adjust your plans. And so it becomes critical for you to be flexible and willing to pivot when it is necessary. You understand? Now, ways to improve your strategic thinking. Number one is to keep learning by staying updated on industry trends and innovation. Wherever you find yourself, ask yourself, what are the things that are happening now and what are the things that are going to happen? And then look at what you are doing right now, what the organization is doing right now, and see how it fits into that. The next is engage in brainstorming sessions. Very, very important. I'm thinking that one of these days we are going to have a workshop on brainstorming, because I think a lot of people don't know so much about brainstorming, because this is very, very important, right? There is a need for you to engage yourself in brainstorming sessions with diverse perspectives. With the intention that we'll have a session on brainstorming. Of course, not necessarily in this leadership workshop, but maybe in some other time. I won't talk so much on this. Now, the next is what practice scenario planning to prepare for what possible future challenges. Scenario planning. Scenario planning is where you anticipate. So, okay, what if this happened? What if the other happened? What if this didn't go as planned? What if this challenge crops up? What am I going to do? What are the strategies? Now, what this does is that it preps you for the future. It preps you should in case similar things happen or that particular scenario that you anticipated happens. You understand? And then lastly is what? Encourage creative problem solving within your team. Within the team where you are working, the people working with you, you want to be able to encourage them to be creative with problem solving. That when there is a problem, they should be on their own without referring to you necessarily, be able to come up with creative ideas of how to solve that particular problem. You understand? Especially where there are clear division of labor. Everyone handling the different components of the project must be allowed and should be allowed to come up with creative ways of solving the problems that they come across. Now, let's talk about decision making. The trust of every leadership comes down to the decisions that you make. The decisions that you make can either mar your leadership journey or make your leadership successful. And so let us look at some of the things you need to consider in coming up with a decision. Number one is identifying the problem or the opportunity. It's important to clearly define the issue at hand and separate the problem from the people, from the team, from the situation. It's important to understand that whatever the problem is, the problem needs to be dealt with. And that in doing so, you want to treat the problem as a problem that should be fixed and not as a problem that cannot be fixed. Right? So identify the problem. Next is what? Gather relevant information. If there is a problem and you are not, it is not your area, it is not your field, but you have to be part of the decision-making process, maybe helping a team member come up with a solution. You need to understand the fact that the person you are talking to is the person within the field, and that apart from what the two of you may know about the problem, that there is that information that two of you may not have. Therefore, it becomes necessary for you to read articles, search solutions online or on YouTube. As you are watching this video now, learning about leadership, there are also several other videos on YouTube that will teach you several things, that will give you information about whatever it is that you are trying to deal with. So it becomes important for you to be well informed, because one of the things you want to do as a leader is for you to take informed decisions. Informed decisions are decisions that are born out of enough information about the decisions you are making. So you are making the decision knowing that A is going to lead to B and B is going to lead to C, and you are very, very certain because you have enough information at your disposal to make that determination. The next is what? Exploring options. Please open up your minds to solutions. Look for options available. Look for solutions. Don't just be locked up with what you've known or what you've always done. You want to explore, you want to bring out, to make a list of all possible solutions and evaluate their potential impact. Then fifth is what? Making the decision, choosing the best course of action based on the analysis that you have made. You understand? So you have gathered enough information, you have come up with a list of possible solutions, you have assessed those solutions and their impact, and now you are certain that, okay, this is the method that will work. It is now time for you to make the decision and make it public. And so it becomes necessary for you to decide on what you guys are going to do and communicate it effectively. Then executing and evaluating. Once you have come up with the decision, the next thing you need to do is to execute that decision. Now, implementing the decision and reviewing, it becomes necessary to implement the decision and then review its outcomes. Right? Now, tips for better decision making. Number one, You want to trust your instinct, but what? Validate them with facts. It's good as a leader that you should be able to trust your instinct, right? You want to trust your instinct, and we encourage you to do that. But please, where you have the time and the opportunity, ensure to validate that instinct. Ensure that that instinct is based on fact.
Hi there. Thank you for choosing to participate in our workshop. We're thrilled to have you on this learning journey with us. If you just came across this video online or on our channel, you can access all the workshop videos on our website at jomorc.com or on our YouTube channel at Jomo Mentorship. Looking to take your skills to the next level? Explore our wide range of in-depth courses at elearn.jomorc.com. Here's a glimpse of what we offer. Number 1, business planning and implementation. Number 2, business documentation and accounting. Number 3, business registration and legalization. Number 4, agribusiness establishment and management. Number 5, decoration and events planning enterprise. Number 6, fashion design enterprise. Number 7, food processing and packaging. Number 8, green energy enterprise. Number 9, oil and gas enterprise. Number 10, real estate and construction enterprise. Number 11, technology and security enterprise. And number 12, fintech and e-commerce enterprise. Whether you prefer learning remotely or at your own pace, we've got you covered with our flexible and engaging training experiences. Visit elearn.jomorc.com today and start building the future you deserve.